A very good morning to you from a rather cold and wet Johannesburg. This is Off the Shelf. My name is David Batsoffen, and I'm joined today by Ilana Ridge, who is the author of this particular book, The Bible of Spirit. You are not broken, you are becoming. Ilana, good morning. Welcome to you.
Good morning, David, and thank you for having me.
It's only a pleasure. I love this logo on the front cover. I'm thinking of doing it as a tattoo. Would you mind?
I have one on my wrist already. Not a
Ah,
problem.
okay. No, then I shan't copy it. Um, the book has come out at, I think, just the right time. The
Mhm.
world that we live in is chaotic. We've come to the end of a year that is always, whatever the year is, it's always, let's hope the next year will be better.
Yeah.
Is that what is it with, hey, human beings? And B, why now, Ilana?
Two very big questions. So I'd like to start with the why now. I think you've
Right.
really depicted it. You've depicted it well. We are, when you look at life today, it's very busy and there's so much pressure on us. The need to have the perfect relationship, to have the perfect morning routine, to have the perfect children, to have the perfect everything. And there's so much pressure on us. And with social media and with technology, there's just so much out there.
Mm.
And if you look back into history of human beings as such, we are taught that life evolves in a linear way. We set goals, we go one, two, three, tick the
Yeah.
box, and off we
If
go.
if only.
Only. And it doesn't work like that.
No, not at
It
all.
doesn't work like that. Life is cyclic. And during the course of this year, I've really been studying a pattern,
Mm.
and it became very apparent to me that life is not linear, yet it evolves in cycles. And even as you speak about the new year, people think, well, next year is going to be better. I'm going to set my goals and tick those boxes. And it doesn't work like that. We're going to find ourselves cycling back into old themes, into old experiences. And instead of asking what's wrong with me or what's wrong with us, it's to ask the question, what more is there for me to see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we don't live our lives for ourselves. We live them for other people. Because
Mm-hmm.
as you've just pointed out, you've got to have the perfect this, the perfect that. You've got to look good when you go out. You've got to be smiling. You've got to be happy. You've got to be satisfied that you have a job. Many, many years ago, one of South Africa's top satirists, when I told him about
Mm-hmm.
my particular background, and he said to me, David, why do you have a job to fall back on? Why don't you have a job that you can fall forward into? And it
Mm-hmm.
was that that made a change in my life. And then I came home and said to my wife, I'm going to become a writer. And that was it. My bank manager, I think, had a heart attack. But hey, I'm wealthy in spirit. That's what I keep telling him. Hard cash doesn't always hack it. So what is when people see the word Bible, their
Yes.
immediate reaction is, oh, this has to be a religious book of some sort, so let's just skip it. Unless they're very religious, in which case they will look at it. Why did you choose the title, and what do you want your readers to take away from this?
Well, first of all, the word Bible came to me.
Mm.
I do get these moments of clarity, be it in meditation or just sitting quietly somewhere where the name came through me, and it's always stuck with me. And then and then I did take a look at, wow, okay, well, the word Bible has a very religious connotation to it in
Mm.
today's world. And when I researched the word Bible is derived from Greek origin, biblos. And what biblos means is it's a book,
Yeah.
and it's a book of many stories or teachings that have been put together.
Mm.
And if I look at back on my own life, and this is what partially the book is all about, is I've used my life experience to describe how the spiral unfolds itself.
Mm.
It's a book of little stories about myself. Yeah, and part of that is a teaching, and I'm I'm not teaching a belief system.
Mm.
I am simply sharing my life experience, and my wish is that anybody who picks the book up can take something out of it for themselves.
Right.
There are key things I would love people to take out of the book. There are many,
Like?
but I've got 5 big ones, and I'll need to remember them now. The first one is that, of course, we are not broken, we are becoming.
Yeah.
And that is the description of the spiral, because life isn't lived in a linear way.
Mm.
It means that we are going to cycle back into our old patterns, our old hurts, our old patterns, and each time we remove the layers. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it goes against the expectation that we look at something, we deal with it, and then we tick the box and it gets put away. Yeah.
Mm.
And the process of becoming is actually unlayering, taking those layers of conditioning, our layers of experience, our layers of trauma away from ourselves, because who we were before that is still there. So
Yeah.
it's really us remembering ourselves before all of these experiences. So it's
Mm.
life unfolding itself. The second thing I would love for people to take out is that healing is possible, and that it is your responsibility to heal.
Mm.
Yeah. None of us would have woken up or started life thinking, okay, well, I want all of these experiences. No, we do
Right.
have experiences, all of us. Yeah. And it is our responsibility to heal from those experiences, because if we don't heal from those experiences, then we're going to end up playing those out in our various relationships that we have,
Mm.
be it work, be it personal, be it with our children. It's going to play out. So
Yeah.
it is our responsibility. The third thing that I would really love people to take out of the book is that the spiral is not an option. It is the shape of transformation. We can't escape it.
Yeah.
Maybe we can ignore it.
Only for a while though, and then it as you say, it's cyclical, so it comes back to bite you in the bum anyway.
Exactly. We can ignore it. But fundamentally, what I've experienced is when people are either in enough pain,
Mm.
or they do step into a level of awareness, then those are the two things that make us ask questions
Yeah.
and go, okay, well, what is here for me to see? Because fundamentally, you're the person having the experience of your life.
Mm.
And if you're having the same experience over and over again, it's easy to blame our external environment. Yet the hardest question to ask is like, what is my responsibility in me experiencing this over and over
Well,
again? Or what is my contribution into the
yeah.
situation that I've experienced?
Take
Yeah.
responsibility, because people don't, as you say, they look to externals first. It's the
Yeah.
weather, it's the this, it's my relationship, it's my job, the car broke down, all of those sort of things. And they refuse
100%.
to internalize and go, but why is
Yeah.
this? And then they can go, okay, I understand now. Now, how do I fix it? And perhaps that's where
Mm,
they turn to your book to look using
mm,
your experiences to help
mm,
them. I know my wife grabbed
mm.
this book the moment she saw it. And
Okay.
all I heard her say was, I can identify with this. I can identify with this. So
Wonderful.
she's your target market, basically.
Yes, well, I wanted to language something that I feel that we all inherently know. We've all
Yeah.
got this intelligence or this voice that guides us.
Mm.
Uh, that I believe, even myself, over time, we learn not to trust it and we ignore it.
Yep.
And it was really lovely that a person can connect with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is the tension. And also trauma cannot be measured by how big or small it is.
It's a
Trauma
transgender
is measured
story.
by the way the person is impacted.
Yeah.
So we can't go and compare things out there. It's about how that person experienced their trauma and what
Yeah.
impact it has had in their life. And in my work, I just saw more and more and more how many people actually are impacted by severe trauma, and so few people talk about it. Yeah.
Well, Ilana, the thing is, I suppose, if you were to if you were sitting there now with your arm in a sling, I
Mm.
would say to you, what happened? And how long does it
Mm.
take? How long are you going to be in the sling? With mental health, there is no, or very often, no outward portrayal of what's going on inside the person's head. And then normally the first thing when somebody finds out is not how long are you going to be wearing the sling? It's why don't you just pull yourself together? Get over
Yeah.
it. And
Yeah.
that is, I think, the most damaging thing you can say to somebody because they can't.
For
That's
sure.
that's why
For
they're
sure.
stuck in a spot in that spiral, is because pull
Yes.
yourself together is not an option. And
No.
unless your head is bandaged and it says on there, I have mental health issues, nobody knows and nobody cares, you know.
Of course not. And that's the other, I think I've mentioned three. The
Three,
fourth
yeah.
one was about that each person has their own path. And it's a bit of a paradox because the journey of healing, transformation, growth, becoming is inwards. Yet a lot of us, we're taught to look outwards. So we
Yes.
go out, we buy another book, we adopt somebody else's principle, and we try and get into take these four things that we now must live according to.
Yeah.
And then we get frustrated when it doesn't work. Yeah, because it
Yeah.
doesn't belong to me, and my path, my journey is totally inwards. I
Mm.
can, of course, go and take tips. I mean, reading books and finding teachers and finding courses and going to retreats, those are all healthy. Those are all healthy spaces.
Yeah.
It's just we don't need to adopt them. It's so important that we go inwards. It's never outwards, and that we adopt our own truth, our own belief system, our own experiences. That's what matters. And
No,
no two paths are the same.
no, not.
Yeah.
So what is that's
No.
number four. What's number five?
Five. You're gonna mm, I'm gonna have to think about that one for a moment. I can't remember what the fifth one is. It's quite possible I've covered it in our
It's not,
speaking. Yeah.
it's not an issue. Did you self-publish?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Because writing a book is often the easy bit. It's getting the darn thing onto the bookshelves that's difficult at the end of the
It
day.
is.
But
It
has
is.
this book been cathartic for you? When you started writing it, did you have did you have it storyboarded? Did you know the path it was going to take? Or, like we've just been discussing, was your book not linear and it took you through twists and turns, as I like to say, more turns than the Swartberg Pass to get from the beginning to the end?
It did. I did storyboard the book in the beginning, and it has taken a complete different turn. It spiraled all on its own, and the sequence in which I thought I was going to write and how it ended up
Mm.
was vastly different. Yeah.
Right.
And a lot of things changed for me during the year as I also internalized and learned a whole bunch of new things and the experiences that I was going through. So the storyboard was valuable.
Mm.
However, it did change vastly as I went through the process. Yeah.
Looking back over your life and the experiences
Yes.
that you've had, if I'd
Yes.
met you the year that you came out of school, did you know
Mm-hmm.
what lay ahead? Did you have a career path planned, or did you sort of wake up the morning after you'd finished your schooling and go, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have to go to school anymore, but I don't have to go to work. What the heck am I going to do?
I think there's the latter. I left school. I didn't really have a career path planned out. If you'd met me then, not in my wildest dreams would I have even thought that I'd be sitting here doing what I'm doing. No,
Right.
no.
And the people around you, do they look at you and go, I never thought she'd be doing that.
That too, yes.
Yeah. Or by the same token, pardon me. Um, when they read the book, did they come back to you and go, I'm really sorry, I didn't know that you went through that?
Well, some people, yes.
Mm,
There are people in my life that do know part of my story. And there, of course, are people that don't,
mm,
especially my clients and people a little bit further away from me.
mm.
I've never felt that it was important to be sharing my entire life story with everybody. And that was actually a huge turning point for me because my 20-year-old me or my 28-year-old me, even my 30-year-old me was stuck in the narrative. I did. I
Mm.
used to meet people. I used to share this poor me
Yeah.
story,
Hello,
and
I'm
I thought it
Ilana, and I
was
have mental health issues, and they run like hell.
well something like that. And one day, it was a very profound day. I realized that the longer I stayed in the narrative, in the story of my life, it was an excuse
Mm.
for me not to show up. It was an excuse for me not to be really shifting and moving towards my purpose and actually uncovering what that is. Like, why am I here? What am I here to serve? Who am I fundamentally?
Mm.
And that changed a lot for me because when I realized I was stuck in a narrative to avoid responsibility, that changed everything. And
Yeah.
from there, a lot of things changed in my life. Yeah.
And if you were to write this book over, would it be different?
No.
Have you resolved so what have you I think I think the underlying my underlying question is, have you resolved some of your own issues? Or are there still things that you wake up in the morning and go, haven't quite got that right yet. I must work on that a little harder, whatever that is.
Exactly. I will say I wouldn't change anything in the book. No. Is there
Mm.
another book? Yes.
Yes.
There's a lot more on this topic. Absolutely. That's part of the spiral.
Mm.
Is there are actually four stages to a spiral, and the last stage of the spiral is actually, I call it infinity. And the reason why I call it infinity, and I haven't written about this, this will be in my next book. The infinity part of the spiral is realizing and accepting and surrendering that life is cyclic.
Yeah.
And even where I am at now, I know I will spiral back in again. And
Mm.
I will be re-looking at themes again, yet with a different lens, and I will
Right.
be able to see and uncover more. So I wake up in the morning, and whatever the day presents, I know I will always spiral. There will always be the descent, and there will
Yeah.
always be the ascent, and that is going to be something that's going to be repeated because the spiral is aligned with nature. And in maths, it's called the Fibonacci sequence.
Indeed
Yeah.
it is.
I speak about it in the book.
Yeah.
So it's each number creates the foundation for the next.
Correct.
And so it is in growth and healing, because sometimes if our trauma has been has had a big impact on us, right? It may be too much for our nervous systems to see everything all at once. So
Yeah.
it means we uncover one layer, and then when we're ready again, we'll go and revisit and uncover another layer and apply that and uncover and uncover and uncover. And that is a lifelong process. So we can't escape it.
No, we can't.
Yeah.
Would you then like to see this book as almost what did they do when you were in school? You had books that you had to read. I can't think of the word now for some
Set work
set work,
books.
set work. Do you
Yes.
think this then should be a set work for everybody? That when you step into life, almost at birth, they don't give you clothes or something. You presented with a book like this and go, this is your life path. Believe it or not,
Absolutely.
whatever. And this is how you can deal with it. There is you're not you know what I think, Ilana, and I may be wrong, and you can help me out here. People think that they're alone in whatever their trauma is, and they're not. There are hundreds, if not tens of thousands of people who undergo exactly the same trauma as you, deal with it maybe in the same, similar, or a different way. That if you reach out or, like this, read the book, will enable you to go, "Ah, I'm not alone. Yay! I can face the day with courage and fortitude."
For sure. I love that. It's a very novel idea. And yes, because language is something that we all may feel, but we
Yeah.
don't know how to express. And of course, trauma, one of the impacts of trauma is it creates a lot of shame. And shame is when we go, inherently there's something wrong with me.
Yeah.
And there's definitely not. And the more we are able to express ourselves and speak about it, the more we understand that we're not alone. And that's one of the things that inspired me to write the book. Is in my coaching practice, in my retreat facilitation, in other facilitations I've had, and even on personal transformational courses that I've attended myself as a participant, I started noticing the percentage of people that had similar stories or have experienced such trauma.
Yeah.
And this level of shame attached to it, and shame isolates us. So
it does indeed.
It isolates us.
But there's also
And
no need for it, unless you're some high-powered financier that supposedly hanged himself. Then you can be ashamed of your trauma. But for the regular Joe in the street, those sort of things, I think, are beaten into us because you did. Therefore, you have to feel. And all you're doing inside is screaming, no, but it's not what I feel, or it's not how I want to behave, or I need therapy to get through this.
Well,
And
of course.
it's at that point, and I was about to ask you, who is your target audience for this? Is it men? Is it women? Is it adults? Is it children? Or is it everybody? Because men
I would love
are resilient to things like this, because cowboys don't cry.
Yeah, well, I think that's such a conditioning, unfortunately, that's happened in the world. I'd love to say it's written for everybody. And I really say wherever anybody is in their life, whether you're seeking, whether it's for the people that are actually tired of trying to transform something or heal something, and they feel like they're failing. It's for men, women, everybody.
Okay. How can people get hold of this? I know you said you self-published. Was it then
Yes.
difficult at getting it into bookstores, or is it only available online?
Okay, so thank you for asking that question. For you to be able to get my book, I'm not in bookstores, excepting one, which is my local bookshop down here on the South Coast. It's called Ramsgate Station.
Okay.
They
Shout
were
out
very
to
kind
Ramsgate
to
Station.
put my, yes. For those of you that are not in Ramsgate, you can pop onto my website, and you could either buy an electronic book via Amazon, and I'm on lots of ebook reading sites, or you can order a book directly off my website, and you will receive a printed copy here in South Africa, and it will be couriered to you.
Great stuff, because I do believe a book like this is a workbook. And electronic books are not workbooks. You can't scribble on a screen. Well, you can, but only once. And then you have to buy a new laptop. But you can write notes in this book.
Absolutely.
For things that you're feeling as you read particular chapters, because you may come back to it in a year. Hang on a second. You may cycle back to it in a year's time and go, so that was how I was feeling a year ago. And things have moved on, or they haven't. But everything in its own time. What is that quote? Simon and Garfunkel, to everything there is a season. Turn, 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 which I know is a biblical expression. But the book is well worth it. And there's still time. There's still time to get one before the new year. So you can kick this off as your new year suggestion to yourself, or to your spouse, or to your friends. You can hand them a copy and go, I think you need one of these. And when they say why, say, read the book.
Oh, well, thank you. And that brings me back to my fifth thing. You see, when you can remember it, there is the fifth item. It is my wish that you use this as a guide.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to create a new belief system. I reckon there's enough rules and top 3 things and stuff out there. I really wanted it to be a guide so people can come back to it.
Right.
Later, maybe cycle back into it, or when you're having a rough time, can help you language something that's going on for you.
Wonderful.
So that is the fifth thing that I would
There,
really want people to take out of it.
there we go.
And just one last thing I wanted to add in is one of the other reasons why I did write it is I wanted to be a voice, because if I have the courage to share
Yeah.
in the way that I shared, I'm really hoping and wishing that other people will also find the courage to do the same.
Yeah. Take that one leap. If you, I have a quotation tattooed on my arm from The Artist's Way. And the
Yeah,
quotation is leap and the net will appear. And
there we
it's
go.
that first leap that needs the courage. And then you realize people are not going to mock. People are not going to be nasty and rude. And they will accept the fact that you are changing. And if they don't accept, then you move on from them. That's the be all and end all. The book is called The
Yes,
Bible of Spirit. You are not broken, you are becoming. It's a return to the sacred intelligence that guides all healing and living. The author is Ilana Ridge. As she said, the book is available via her website, and you can find that in the blurb that will go with this interview. And do yourself a favor, take a dip into it, see what it's all about. Ilana, thank you so very much for being a guest here on Off the Shelf. I wish you all the very best with this and, of course, for future books.
thank you, David. Thank you for having me.
It's only a pleasure. This has been Off the Shelf. I'm David Batsoff, and until the next time, bye for now.